Steve's Yard Care. We've been following the story all week. Dozens of customers accused the company of doing work they did not order, and now more people are calling in.
Recently, senior reporter Jake Wozakowski spoke with the collections agency to follow up on his investigation.
The collections analyst is working on behalf of Steve's and says everything is documented and only work okayed was done. One former customer says he had a bizarre conversation with the owner.
The turf wars continue. Steve's Yard Care has filed 76 lawsuits in Douglas and Sarpy counties since January 19th for back payments. Of those, at least 20 have similar stories. Homeowners being sued said they had Steve's do specific yard work. Most paid him. But then he kept doing other work they didn't ask for and billed them. The attorney who filed the suits says the high number is because they didn't file any from 2014 to the middle of 2017. She says each account has written notes about every time a call was made to perform services and price, and that Steve wouldn't do it unless authorized.
And I sent the bill in minus the $150 and told him I didn't authorize that, and he would call me up and say, "Tom, you did authorize that."
Tom Johnson says he hired the company for 10 years. But recently, Steve did an insecticide treatment without his permission. He says he eventually paid the $150 bill, but Steve called months later to convince Tom he had asked for the service.
It's like, why are you trying to prove, like he's trying to prove a point, like I did authorize that, and I know I didn't. Again, like I said, I did my own insecticide treatment on my lawn, so there was no reason for me to pay for it.
The collections analyst says any correspondence between the customer and Steve's was saved, including any dispute of the records.
With this guy, with the way he's selling, all he's doing is just ripping everybody off.
Daniel Buck says in 2014 his wife called Steve's for an estimate. The company then came out and did work a few months later. When Daniel confronted Steve saying he knew his wife only called for an estimate, he says this was the response.
And he said, well, she's lying to you. That's not what she told me. She said that she wanted me to come do it in May. And I know my wife would never do that. I think he knows what he's doing is wrong.
Attorney Randy Paragas tells me the best thing for someone to do if they're being sued is to answer the subpoena within the 30-day time period, or else a judge could rule in the company's favor and make you pay the money for not showing up. Jake Wozakowski, 3 News Now.